this is Kip Fuller with Comedy Couch Live, and we got Rose Hines here. And go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys. Come on, I don't have to do
Hey guys, I'm Carly Kloss, and I just created my own website with Wix.
Carly's introducing herself.
Carly was right on the time there.
Go to Wix.com to create your stunning
This is
website.
Jon Lehre.
If you look at the monitor, you'll see what we got going.
So I'm Jon Lehre.
Hello, my name is Aash, Anand.
Clay Newman.
Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to the Comedy Couch.
Yeah,
So
thanks for having me.
today we're going to talk about the NFL. Very interesting news came out. They took a big hit on their ratings recently, and they're saying it's because of this big storm that happened. I don't know. I'm calling bull snot on it. I think that it's a little more complicated than that. Last year they said that it was the what was it, the presidential elections?
Yeah.
Was that what they said it was last year?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
So they're blaming Hurricane Irma for having low ratings. It's but it's the lowest since 2009, the lowest opening day. So it's pretty low.
I think, I don't know, I think blame the internet more than anything else. I think hopefully there are some people that are standing with Colin Kaepernick and actually going through with the boycott, which in 2017 you could boycott very lazily and still live stream it and affect how much money that the NFL gets out of ad revenue. But I think a lot of people should rather live stream than watch on TV right now.
I really like that idea. I do think. I mean, for me, I would boycott the NFL, but I never watched in the first place, so I don't know if that really counts.
I'm in the same boat as you. I stand with Colin Kaepernick and everything that he believes in, but I've never given a fuck about the NFL, so why should I start right now?
Today,
I
choose
was
from
raised in India. We watch
For
a
lighting,
far
real
superior
estate-
sport called cricket, and that is a gentleman's game and has been for centuries now. And
I don't know how gentlemanly any game with something called a sticky wicket is. That sounds like a very childish game.
I think that's sort of the one term that Americans always pick out. You know, we have amazing names for our field positions like third man and fine leg and silly madon and gully. And I've actually played in a number of these positions before, and it has nothing to do with sex.
You've always been a fine leg in my book, Aash.
And I've been a third man before, so that works out as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what do you think, John? Are you going to boycott the NFL?
Well, I'm conflicted with the NFL mostly because of what the Raiders did, as far as deciding to go off to Vegas and them after coming back to Oakland, and the 49ers just being horrible. So as far as local teams, that's a thing. But for me, it's more about the concussions and that the NFL is mistreating its players and not really implementing enough things to guarantee that these guys aren't going to be facing deteriorating brain damage the older that they get, and the number of suicides that they're seeing as the players get older is just increasing.
Yeah, that's a good point. So there's a lot of reasons, I guess, but I have to say, because my dad's a big football fan. He was like captain of the football team in high school, right? So I think
must have been really popular.
Yeah, yeah. We'll just say yeah, definitely.
Again, back to the third man thing.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, so and like he remembers back when some people go their team goes all the way back, so he remembers the 49ers back in Kezar Stadium, So I think it can be a tough one for some people.
Yeah, there's definitely some good old fashioned territorialism to it too. It's something to be proud of from your hometown. A lot of people, their fathers took them to the games, and their grandfathers took their fathers to the games. I can see it being that kind of passionate point of pride for people, but it's also silly to think that it's bigger than something like police brutality or even concussions.
Well, I mean, when I was growing up, football games were a huge part of the family getting together. We would all get together on Sunday. We had season tickets for the Raiders. This is back before they went to L.A., and it was huge for my family. It was something that brought us all together as a group, even though all the kind of differences. And that would last usually until the third quarter when everybody would be pretty much drunk and dysfunctional. But at least we were a family for a short period of time. I think a lot of people still have that, wanting that cultural combination of things. I mean, how many things are there out in the world now that actually have that kind of loyalty and viewership? You can talk to somebody on the East Coast and go, hey, did you see that game? And they'll say yes.
I think Chris Rock definitely he has that kind of loyalty. His fans are with him 100%.
Game of Thrones.
Cricket.
Game of Thrones.
Cricket's got that kind of loyalty.
Yeah.
Does it?
1.5 billion people don't go to work when there's a cricket match on, because that should
But-
last 8 hours.
But this is bigger than football, right? Because this is supposed to be like the people who are really, really against Colin Kaepernick. They're saying that he's not being patriotic. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well,
Arguably,
I think that for a lot of people, they'll be patriotic with things that aren't inconvenient to them. If watching football has been a part of your family and part of your life, that's going to be something that you hold on to go, well, I'll protest somewhere else. I'm not willing to give that up. But I think the drop-off is for multiple reasons, like Clay said, with the internet. And, of course, cricket making all the huge inroads, especially, at elementary school level now, that I think more and more people are just going to drop off.
Well,
Do
and
you think it might
soccer.
also have something to do with coaches touching players in locker rooms around the country? Or are we not going to talk about that?
I think
mean,
it
like
sounds
with
like it
Sandusky
sounds like a
and
lot
all
of different things, right? I mean,
We're
Sure.
getting a call in, guys, and
Someone's calling in. Are they protesting?
I
What are
think
they?
they are. I think we
somebody's
got somebody
calling in.
calling
Are we gonna
This is-
answer?
But we're not going to answer this
Oh,
call.
Oh, we're not
okay.
going to do
We're
that.
gonna take this call.
You hear that, caller?
Yeah.
And once
This
again,
is
this
not-
is
not
only
a call.
American
We'll
football.
talk to you when we
We're
want.
not talking
We're
what
not
the rest of
taking
the world
calls
calls
right
football.
now, but you guys can go on YouTube Live, and actually you can log in and you can post to us if you'd like. You can go right on YouTube and you can make a post, and we'll follow up next week. But this is actually like it's a whistleblower thing. I mean, this is a whistleblower show. We did actually hear from a group has actually claimed responsibility for the storms.
Is that right?
yeah.
So, a group has actually claimed responsibility for the storms. Black Lives Matter has
Yeah.
claimed they came to us, and they claim responsibility for these storms. And we're gonna roll on over, and we're gonna see what these guys had to say. Actually, Rose interviewed them. I'll go over and see what these guys had to say.
Just
Bear
the-
with us for a moment here. while
They're
we,
claiming responsibility for just the black clouds, right?
well,
I knew it was an SJW of
Yeah.
some
There you go.
kind, but
I'm Rose Hines with Comedy Couch Live, and I'm here to interview Cassie B. White and Ernest O'Connor.
Yes.
Thank you two for coming in. And you are with which organization
Thank
are
you
you with?
so much. This is so exciting. We are with Black Lives Matter. It's LIFES. This is such a great opportunity to be here. Thank you so much.
So we have some news. Well, the NFL has had the lowest ratings since 2009. In fact, it has been down 12% since last year. And they have made a statement today that their low ratings are due to Hurricane Irma. Now we have Black Lives Matter here with us today, and they are actually claiming responsibility. Can you share your perspective?
Yes, we have the ability to control the weather. So the storm is ready to hit the NFL headquarters, and it did, and it was glorious. 70% of the NFL players are black, right? Yes, black lives.
True.
Yes,
That is
that is true.
So-
Yes,
so-
and 2% of the American population is black also. Yes, yes.
I believe
And your ratings, what was your ratings? How much ratings did
well,
drop?
it's,
What was the ratings? What was the ratings drop?
the ratings drop was 12%.
Yes, and what was the percentage of black lives that were killed in America? What is the percentage? You know the percentage?
I'm afraid I don't, and maybe you can
Yes,
share
it's
with
over
us.
50%. Yes, which means
50%.
that you are losing this race.
So,
We are dying at a
I don't
higher
know.
rate than your ratings.
I mean, how exactly has your organization been able to
What you need to understand, Rose, is that Black Lives Matter is not just an organization. It's a lifestyle. And our lifestyle includes voodoo priestesses, water vendors, Dakota Access Pipeline protesters, and Colin Kaepernick all working in a centrifugous force.
That's very interesting. We're so glad that you came in have some footage of a protest that they organized today.
Yes, it was a rally, not a protest. We were recruiting members for controlling the weather and boycotting the NFL. This is very important that we all come together, and you can see from the footage that people are really supporting our cause. Black Lives Matter. Yeah, so do not watch NFL, and if you really have to, maybe illegally download it, but I'm not telling you to do that yet. So go ahead, Aaron, tell us more about this.
If you watch the NFL, we'll send another storm to your county.
Yes.
Oh, I see. That is very interesting. So definitely join your organization and boycott the NFL.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming in today.
So,
Yeah, it was this very exciting day yesterday.
very, very interesting news we got in here to Comedy Couch Live. I'm sure the NFL is going to be really embarrassed by this, guys. I don't know what we're going to do with this information. We're the first ones ever to receive this information. And it came right to us. So what are we going to do with all this power?
Well, first off, I think whatever drugs Ernest was on and whatever drugs Cass was on, we're going to switch the two of them because there was a serious disparity of energy right
we
there.
have a secret member here.
Okay,
he knows who
Look,
they are.
I'm going to be honest with you.
He knows who they are.
I am one of the founding members of Black Lives Matter, and I'm furious that I'm not the spokesperson. What was that? What was that, you guys? We took the time to make a hurricane happen. I'm not going to tell you exactly how it worked. It had to do a little bit with bleached coral, so it was kind of our fault too. But the hell was that, Ernest?
Now, I think, I'm fully in support of this hurricane that was sent by Black Lives Matter, but I really think that they should strike next and strike fast before the NFL gets a way to control the weather and counterattack. Because this is Black Lives Matter. This is San Francisco, guys. This is a hot spot for Black Lives Matter. I don't want fucking NFL sponsored earthquakes here.
It's Black Lives Matter.
That's right, LIFES.
With Black Lives Matter, it's Black Lives Matter.
And that is their distinction, not ours. We did ask to be a part of their group, and they were very firmly against our representation of them. So that was their choice, not ours.
So I'm just curious as far as what was then the motivation for having the hurricane start in the Florida area as opposed to maybe more the elite northern.
We were shooting for Boston because obviously
sense.
Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are Trump supporters. We vastly underestimated how weather worked. We really thought it would just keep on going, but land is tough on water, apparently.
A lot of fake news comes out of Florida, but also Nielsen headquarters got hit, guys.
Do you think that might have something to do with the NFL's low ratings?
It may actually have something to do with it. I think it's just a perfect storm of things coming together against the NFL.
Yeah, how does Nielsen even work? How do they know whether I'm watching the NFL now or not?
Well, I do know that they had to evacuate their offices.
Do they have lemmings in my TV? And that's how they know it? Because that would make sense if their headquarters isn't working, then the lemmings can't send their information back through the cloud or whatever, and they won't know that I'm watching NFL.
That's outdated. The TVs are much too flat for lemmings now.
The idea that every single thing you're watching isn't immediately tracked and disseminated by Google, that's just adorable that you don't realize that. We know that's funneling straight through Google.
Why don't we go around the table and, let's start with whoever wants to start. Tell us a little bit about what you're working on. We got a room full of comedians. We believe comedians can actually solve world problems. We do.
I don't believe that at all. I have zero faith in us being able to do that.
Okay, well, go ahead and tell us about yourself. We can definitely shed further light on how to make the world a better place, or even worse.
It's a interesting thing to be able to go out into I'm just getting to the point in comedy where I'm starting to travel a little bit, which means everywhere I go that's not San Francisco is a little less enlightened usually. You get to a little bit of backwoods areas. Sometimes it's a bit redneck. So it's a very interesting battle to try to point out what's going on in the world today and actually be funny about it at the same time. That's an interesting thing to try to work. I want them to laugh, but if you're a redneck also, I want you to have a bad day. So it's kind of a tough balance.
Yeah, it's harder if you hate, like if you kind of have a tension between you and your audience.
Oh, definitely. It's and I like to think that they started it. I like to think I just walk up there and they're like, "Oh, it's you, Fro." And
Yeah, there's no way you're a shit starter.
No.
Kip and I saw a show in Reno, like at a casino, and the comic was definitely, they were from LA, and they were definitely kind of having that struggle.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, I've been being up here in Northern California, up in the wine country, where they actually not even sure that racism exists. Our biggest battles are between reds and whites.
I was going to say,
just
everybody
wine.
loves wine, so...
Exactly.
Well, that's okay. Let's be fair, though. You're talking about a majority of wine country, which is lovely, but then all of a sudden you get into Katani and areas like that, and all of a sudden, well, what do you pair with meth? What is the best wine to go? Is it a rosé? There's something strange that happens out there.
It's a Merlot, actually.
It's a Merlot. Yeah, I guess that's heavier. It makes sense.
I think it's a good thing to do to make fun of like bad stuff that happens in the world. That's kind of what I try to do. Actually, we had an incident with some Nazis. We actually were on Quan 4 for making fun of Nazis. Right. Yeah, we got on Quan 4. Actually, here's a little video of it. Check it out. We challenged Nazis to a pillow fight, and now we know why they call them Nazis, because we did not see any Nazis.
You should have gone to Berkeley.
I was gonna say, San Francisco's scared.
Well, they said they'd come here.
Yeah. San Francisco, in the most San Francisco way possible, just passive-aggressively shamed the Nazis into not coming. We didn't need violence, just good old-fashioned San Francisco shame.
But here's the thing, I'm not saying that anybody who voted for Donald Trump is a Nazi.
We challenged them to a pillow fight. That was the idea.
Yes.
That was it. I mean, because it came out that the guys would some dudes wanted to fight him with boxing gloves.
Right.
Sorry, I just totally interrupted you. That's horrible of me as a host.
That's fine. You'd be surprised, actually. I'm not saying that everybody who voted for Donald Trump's a Nazi, but 10% of San Francisco actually voted for Donald Trump. So that's 0.4 people in this room, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
I know,
statistically.
I know
it was you, Clay.
I know at least 4 people in the comedy community that voted for Trump, and those are the people that are actually willing to be open about it. So they're out there,
And nobody showed up for the pillow fight.
Yeah. Like I said, you should have gone to Berkeley. They were there.
Okay, to be fair, 2 of those guys are Trump imitators, so they only did it.
Yeah, that's fair. Frankie Griffin, I'm sorry, I called you out.
You
do a lovely impression.
And
that's capitalism at its finest. So I'm not.
I did lose a friend. I went to a very, very liberal private school in Western Massachusetts.
That's very
one of the people,
but
the one of the people who I grew up with voted for Trump, and now he regrets it.
That's fine. As long as they regret it, I'm fine with it.
Voted for Trump and regrets it.
Oh no! Somebody.
If I do, I don't know.
That's beautiful to actually have somebody realize they made a mistake. The amount of idiots I have in my life that are like, "No, we have to stand by this horrible decision." Because emails, though, right? Stop.
I'm glad to see the comedian lobby, though. These 2 guys who are Trump impersonators who voted to get their man in office so that they could do better. I think that's inspiring.
I think it's fun.
I love that story.
You can't, Hillary face just isn't acceptable right now. You can't, nobody does a good Hillary impression if you're a man.
Can we get Aziz Ansari in office next?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm asking for a friend.
I think actually most comedians are now working on their Trump impression, even if they don't want to. It's just something you now have to do. You've worked on the patterning.
At the very least, you need to have
You have
this
to have
move
something.
down.
So short. Sorry.
Right, so people are going to come in. They're going to talk to us. It's going to be great. I don't know what's happening, but we've got people coming in the studio. What's happening over here?
I thought we had an hour.
All right, guys, we have 8 minutes to set up for another live show, so if we can.
All right,
Oh
once
my God.
again, the
So-
liberals are in charge of the timing. This is horrible. This is awful. I don't even know what's going on over here. It's crazy.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Are we done?
Stuck the landing.